Hi, everybody. Welcome to midweek and welcome to Jack Robertson Arena on the campus of Coastal Alabama South. It is a matchup of really, I know we're early in the year, but this is significant ramifications because you're talking about a couple of teams that are right there on the bubble as far as getting into postseason, opening point belonging to Bishop State. And though there is a long way to go, these two teams will play each other again. As a matter of fact, everybody's got everybody at least one more time. So a lot of things could change, but you sure would like to be in the top four now versus having to worry about climbing back into the top four later. Just get there, stay there. So these two teams trying to do just that. It is driven over, and that will ricochet off of Tamiria Taylor. And we are knotted up at one each. Coastal South starting Jennifer Shipman, Peyton Hardigan, Haley Pinkert, Brianna Sanders, Sarah Alleman, Rachel Wilson, and the libero Sophie Sanchez. They'll hit the top of the net and trickle over. Compliments of Ella Stapleton. And Bishop State will grab the lead back. Meanwhile, for Bishop State, Alyssa Wade, Zariah Allen, Ella Stapleton, Tamiria Taylor, Lena Manning, Haley Boudreau, and the libero Braden Holston on the floor. 3-1 Bishop State lead. Martin gets there first. It is bumped to the front line by Hardigan and then driven over but out. And South will get to within a point. Well, looking at Hardigan in the starting lineup, she's appeared in 13 of the roughly 37 sets. But if memory serves me correctly, there a year ago. So getting back into the mix for the Coyotes as back to serve is Ella Stapleton. 66 aces on the year for the Wildcats. And of those 66, 4 belong to Stapleton. To the mid part of the floor, shoved over by Binker. And is jammed over Allen. And Allen knocked it into the net, so you got 4 hits on the Bishop State side of the floor. And that'll turn it into a 4-3 game. Well, still a little doubt based on Helene about the weekend. Now, I haven't heard anything that would indicate games are going to be moved. Just not sure where she's headed, so not positive things will happen as they are slated Friday and Saturday. Sanchez able to get there and is shoved by Alleman to the front line and then pushed over by Brown. Tatum will take it out. The free ball sent over by King, and it will go long, and we're tied up at 4. And again, not saying there won't be games. I'm just saying that there's some weather in the Gulf that you just never know. Alleman a little too strong with the serve. A 1-point Bishop State lead. And serving is Alyssa Wade. Wade 9 aces on the year. That is 4th most on the team. Tops is Taylor with 14. Over goes to Wilson, drives it cross court, able to get there is Holston. And it's Taylor going long. And we are knotted up at 5 each. Biggest lead early in this one has been 2 when Bishop State led it 3-1. Right now knotted up at 5 each. Couple of teams that will meet again on the 24th of October in Mobile. Nice dig by Binker, tipped over by Brown. And there is the first Coyote lead of the set and match. Haley Binker serving 11 aces for Binker. Bishop State with 66 team aces. Coyotes with 65. Wilson driving it into the corner. And the Coyotes take a 2-point lead. And Bingert will continue to serve, the 054 hitter on a 101 hitting Coastal South squad. Right now, Friday will have us back here for South and Bevel State. Into the net from Taylor. And right now, we'll be in Bruton on Saturday for Bevel State and Pearl River. We'll be in New York on Saturday for Georgia Military and Monroe University. Binkert sending it over, and that goes awry for Stapleton. And as it stands at the moment, I've got that little asterisk by everything. We'll be doing baseball Saturday and Sunday in Wicksburg, but again, all depends. A little shove over by Allen when it appeared as though it might drop. A little miscommunication between Allen and Taylor. Alleman over to Sanchez, setting up Brown, drives it, aims for the corner, able to get there is Way. And there will be the first Bishop State point of the last 4. Turn it into a 9-6 game. Allen will serve. 5 aces on the year for Allen. Both teams see action next on Friday. Coastal South, as we mentioned, against Bevel State. Wilson getting the kill off of Allen. And next for Bishop State is Pearl River on the 27th. Rachel Wilson serving. Wade there first. Taylor drives it over. Wilson in the backcourt. Alleman setting up Brown. Drives it. Nice block by Manning. And then eventually goes out of bounds. Last touching the Coyotes. Serve back over to Bishop State. Manning doing the honors. And if you look at team stats in the conference, these two teams very close in the standings. That'll go long, and Binkert lets it. Kills percent. Bishop State 11, South 9. Hitting. Bishop State is 10, South 12. Assist percent. Bishop State 10, South 11. Blocks a set. Bishop State 9, South 11. The only thing there is a larger difference in is digs percent. And Bishop State is tops in the conference. Sanders trying to shoot it down the line, goes out. And Bishop State will draw to within 2. But yeah, 10 and 11, 9 and 11, 8 and 11 in most categories. As the ace is delivered by Taylor. Except those digs. Bishop State 1, South 10. Binkert. Look at the Hardigan. Setting on the mid part of the floor, firing away is Haley Boudreaux. Another opportunity for Boudreaux. Binger trying to dig it out, couldn't. And we are knotted up again, this time at 11. So the Coyotes building some comfort with a 3-point lead, then 4. Only to see it evaporate, and now Bishop State reclaiming the lead by 1. Bingert coming off the floor, checking into the lineup for South And it's Alex Rutledge. And Rutledge with a dig to start things, and it tipped over by Alleman. I got a brand new show on JockJive's YouTube, JUCO Rush, all about junior college football. And if you are into JUCO football, I know there's no football team in Alabama. Last time was MMI back in the 80s. Going to the opposite side of the floor. That is King, and then Alleman blocked by Stapleton. But junior college football has got some really premier talent. And the show will focus on them and more. So check it out. Can't find it anywhere else at the moment. Martin over to Hardigan, bumps into the mid part of the floor. Alleman will send it over. Manning getting to it first. Stapleton. Little shove over. Hardigan the bounce. Alleman trying to send it over, does. And we're knotted up at 13. Check that. Point not awarded to the Coyotes. Awarded the Wildcats. It's a 14-12 Wildcat lead with Holston serving. Brown shoving it over to Alleman. Alleman. Manning could not get a pass off. Got a hand on it. Couldn't get the pass she was looking for. And the serve back over to the South, specifically Sophie Sanchez. Back and forth match. And if we stay back and forth, as that one is driven over by Allen, then we may be here a while tonight. Stapleton again serving. 091 hitter with 4 aces this year. Martin bumps into Brown, over to Bankert, and that will catch the antenna and give Bishop State their largest lead. 3-point advantage, Stapleton. Serving it up to Martin. Brown with a set to the mid part of the floor. Alleman, shot blocked by King. Stapleton able to dig it out. Over it goes to King. Holston getting to it off of Brown. And now both teams have had 4-point leads. The Coyote 4-point lead came 9-5. And the Bishop State 4-point advantage coming 17-13. Over to Bankert, had to back up to get it inside the antenna. Mid part of the floor, King blocked by Alleman. Brown with a two-handed shove into the backcourt and apparently hit it twice. She did. Stapleton again serving, and we'll go long. A brief 5-point lead, back to 4. And serving is Alleman. 14 aces this year, more than any other Coyote. Holston on the receiving end, and is right in front of the inline from King. (19 serving 14) as Alyssa Wade with 9 aces on the year backs up to serve. Fires it over to Brown. Alleman setting up Wilson, drives it, drops it. Set not over for the Coyotes. And the serve back over to Coastal South. Alex Rutledge, 1 ace this year. There are 3 Coyotes with none. Robinson, Shipman, and Sanders. Mid part of the floor. That just went awry. That was Allen sure thing, and then it hit the hand wrong. and went sailing on her. Rutledge again on the serve. A shove over by Manning. The element of surprise looked like a set was coming. Instead, sent over by Manning. And Zariah King will serve. 5 aces this year for the 104 hitting. Check that, Allen, not King, Allen. Wilson driving it over. Allen will get there. Setting up Taylor. And Taylor got into the net. Rachel Wilson with a serve. Well, if we only go 3, these two teams are 500 in 3-set matches. South is 3-3, and Bishop State is 2-2. Miscommunication. That was Taylor and Boudreaux miscommunicating, and the benefactor, the Coyotes. A 2-point game after the lead had gone to 5. Manning with a set. Taylor drives. There to block is Brown. Tipped over by Taylor. Dug out by Sanders. Stapleton able to get to it. Taylor dropping it over. And again, able to get there was Shipman, but this time not able to get an adequate pass. And Manning will serve. Manning 12 aces on the year, second best on the team. That'll go long on Sanders. And the Wildcats 3 away from a set 1 win. Coyotes are 7 away. Manning again on the serve. Holloman pulling it back to allow the Brown shove over with a couple of hands. Taylor driving it, going long. And the Coyotes will serve. You heard the howling from the cheerleaders. Served over by Brown. Manning pumping it over. Brown getting there. Alleman shoving to the opposite corner. Holston with a set. Tipped over by Sanders, able to reach and get it. Holston, and then Alleman will drive it right back across. Brown again serving. 7 aces on the year for Brown. She will deliver with ace number 8. And the Coyotes have gotten to within 1, prompting a Bishop State timeout.
It's the dreaded appointment. You've put it off long enough. You've run out of excuses. And now you've got to face your fears head on. Fortunately, there's someone there who won't hold your feelings against you. Somebody whose efforts instead will give you your best selfie smile. You'll thank her when it's over. Be somebody. Enroll in the Dental Assisting Program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Three points ago, it was a 22-18 Bishop State lead, but 3 in a row from the Coyotes. And got them within striking distance. 22-21. And Cameron Brown, 8 aces now on the year serving. She's played and all 37 of the sets Coyotes have participated in. Nice dig by Rutledge. Driven over, but able to get there was Wade. Taylor trying to pull it off the net, couldn't force straight. And time this one up at 22. Brown serving again. Brown kind of run that ball into the floor here. I don't know if that was to get a little perspiration off or just her lucky charm right now. Well, if it was the lucky charm, it failed on her. Stapleton tipping it over. Bishop State reclaiming the lead. Taylor will serve. Tamiria Taylor, 14 aces, 121 hitter. Sanders will drive it off of the attempted king block. Well, in a set like this one, you almost expect to go into the equivalent of volleyball OT. Got to win by 2, 25 still the mark. Got the back set, and that will go through the Ottoman block. Stapleton giving the 1-point lead to Bishop State. So we are at set point. Holston serving. Over goes to Ottoman, tips it over. Able to get a hand on it was King, giving Stapleton an opportunity to send it over. Back set for Binkert, and Binkert coming up just a little bit short. So the opening set will go to the visitors, Wildcats, taking the early lead in this one. But if set one is any indication of what's coming up, buckle up. Bishop State, Coastal Alabama South. Set number 2, 3 minutes away.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Happens so quickly. 1 minute you're driving to the store and then you ask yourself, am I hurt? Are they hurt? Who should I call? I just want to go home. And then someone appears. Somebody who lets you know you're going to be okay. Be somebody. Enroll in the EMT program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Bishop State with an opening set win, but a long way to go in this one. No less than 3, no more than 5 tonight. Well, again, if Mother Nature will cooperate, here's the plan. Whoops, not that plan. You've already seen that one. Here's the plan for what's coming up this weekend. On Friday, Bevel State in town to take on Coastal Alabama South. We'll have that one for you. The next day, they head to the Bears and will take on another set of Coyotes, those from Coastal North. That afternoon, 3 o'clock, Pearl River in town. To tangle with the Coyotes, also on Saturday, we're headed to New York. Monroe University and Georgia Military College. Georgia Military now number 6 in the country in NJCAA football. It's right in the thick of early Final Four discussion. And also coming up over the weekend, we will be at Wicksburg High School for the ABC Fall League Baseball. And that's all this weekend and all right here on JockJive. Set number 2 about to get underway. Bishop State coming in with a 1-3 overall mark. That is uncharacteristic of Bishop State, as the opening serve from Manning is a foul one, so to speak. Bishop State typically is right in the mix at the end of the year. Top 4 or better. This year, just a tad on the outside looking in, but as I mentioned at the beginning, a long way to go. Martin delivering with an ace. And Kinsley Martin will serve again. 10 aces on the year for Martin. And if Ken Folk are watching up in Alabama, as to be more precise, Birmingham, great to have Kinsley's Ken Folk on the other end of the broadcast. Roberto Alleman drives it over. Halston able to get a hand on it, but a little miscommunication again, this time between Manning and Marion. I checked that. That is Manning and Boudreaux. And the Coyotes have opened up a 3-point lead to begin set number 2. And Kinsley Martin will serve again, this time into the net. It is the exact same start point-wise as we had in the opening set. But when it was 3-1 in the opening set, it was 3-1 Bishop State. It is 3-1 Coyotes in this one. And apparently an illegal rotation. So a malfunction defensively on the Coastal South side. Taylor the serve, setting on the mid part of the floor, and that will be driven over by a new face on the floor. Andrea Foster checking in. And speaking of new faces, well, not completely new, but back onto the floor comes Rachel Wilson. To the sidelines, Jennifer Shipman, as Sanchez will serve. Manning able to retrieve, and King will go under, not over the net. Sanchez again serving. By the way, volleyball-wise, all the Coastal South, all the Coastal North volleyball. Nice Wilson block. Taylor able to get to it. Stapleton sending it over. Foster there. Brown over to Alleman. Setting up King, and it's blocked right back over. And at the end of the year, we're headed to Albertville, Sand Mountain. And that is where this year's postseason tournament will take place, which this year is all ACCC. The last few years, there's been other regions mixed in. Region 10. This year, only Region 22. Martin in the backcourt over to Alleman. Alleman drives, blocked. Stuck over by Wilson. Taylor able to get there. And that'll go off Wilson. Boudreaux with the point. Serving is Holston. Holston, to be exact. Over to Wilson, and Wilson drives it. Holston able to get to it, but unable to pull it off the net was Manning. And the Coyotes by 4 with Alleman serving. Alleman 14 aces, a 193 hitter, best server from an ace perspective. One of the better hitters too. Two-handed shove into the backcourt. Taylor able to get there. Manning. Back set. Stapleton drives and goes long. And the Coyotes' lead is 5. Well, I see Cedric Yelding in the house. Ladies basketball coach leaning up against the wall, checking out some volleyball. Last year he needed some of the Coastal South volleyball players. He's hoping that won't be an issue this year. Wilson driving it over Taylor, able to dig it out. He's driving it over, Wilson driving it, and Taylor. Also great reflexes, the latest of which was Manning. Taylor in the backcourt. And that will drop in the corner for Zariah Allen. And the Coyote lead cut in half. Jack Robertson Arena, newly renovated. More chairback seating. More comfortable seating as Wilson will send it into the net. And Coastal South Volleyball, really, to them, a brand new floor. Didn't play on this floor at all last year. Foster goes long. And the Wildcats trim it to 2, and the Coyotes ask for time.
Being a patient can make you feel helpless and vulnerable and scared. You're dependent on others to get well. Your care is in someone else's hands. Someone who, up until today, might have been a stranger, but somehow they know how you're feeling. Somebody who sees you as more than just a patient. Be somebody. Enroll in the nursing program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Wildcats take the opening set. Coyotes trying to grab set number 2. In the South, Enterprise State and LBW, who obviously have not met one another because they are both unbeaten. But will soon. I think Enterprise State with a 4-0 mark in conference play, and LBW at 3-0. Coastal North 2-2. And Coastal South at 1-2 is your current 1 through 4. And the significance is you've got the 2 divisions. Wilson driving it in front of the inline. And the top 4 teams for the North and South are the teams that advance to Sand Mountain at the end of the year. Of course, Reed State was a South team. Canceled their year. I don't know what that means as far as the volleyball program in the future is concerned at Reed State. Do know the Northwest Shoals is adding volleyball next year. Sent over by Sanders. Over it goes to King. And Bishop State draws to within 2. And I don't know, let's say, and I'm just speculating, let's say Reed State stays out, Northwest Shoals comes in. Do you take a team from the North, add them to the South? Reaching, thinking it might stay in was Wade. It ricochets off Wade and turns into the 10th Coyote point. And I'm just making an assumption with absolutely no authority to do so, but I guess if you're taking a team out of the North, would the most logical one be Southern Union? I mean, I guess they're geographically closer. Kill from Taylor. But that's for Commissioner Dean Myrick and the higher-ups in the ACCC to figure out. We get to speculate, they get to make the decisions. Isabella White checking in, serving. Over goes to Shipman, drives it across. White able to get there. Taylor sending it over. Ottoman bumping into Sanchez. Free ball into the backcourt. White's there. Over to Taylor, and Taylor goes long. Isabella White has been in 23 of the 37 Bishop State sets. Boy, we were talking about the similarities between these two. Where they are in the team standings. Number of aces, only one ace difference between the two. How about the fact they've both played in the same number of sets? 37 coming in. Wildcats trying to take a definitive lead, and the Coyotes would prefer that did not happen. Manning serving. 263 assists for Manning. That's her specialty. That'll go long from Shipman. Manning to serve. Layla Manning, 96 digs on the year. Into the backcourt, Wayne gets it. Stapleton driving in and drove it past Brown. And we're tied up at 11. I haven't mentioned, have I, subscribing to our YouTube channel? Let's see, 5,100 is what we're shooting for now, and we're about 8, maybe 7 away. Well, there is an ace. And the first Wildcat lead will come on the Manning delivery. Manning, number 2 on the team behind Taylor in aces. Gives a 1-point lead to the visitors. Over to Shipman, tips it over, Manning there. Holston bumping into Taylor, blocked by Sanders. And then it is crushed over. That is, I believe, Boudreaux it is. Wildcats take a 2-point lead. Coyotes take a timeout.
Happens so quickly. 1 minute you're driving to the store and then you ask yourself, am I hurt? Are they hurt? Who should I call? I just want to go home. And then someone appears. Somebody who lets you know you're going to be okay. Be somebody. Enroll in the paramedic program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Coyotes coming out of the timeout down by 2. Manning will serve. Here at home, Coyotes 3-1. only home loss came to part of the family. Coastal Alabama North. Tipped over by Shipman. Stapleton able to get there. Manning sending it in the backcourt. And Rutledge, she was kicking herself on the pass. And then when it was shot right back over, that was the reason she was kicking herself. Manning serving again. And Rutledge will come off the floor. Bankert checking back in for the Coyotes. Manning on the serve. Got the net, comes over. Shipman got a hand on it, it's shoved right back across by Bishop State. That probably, despite nibbling the top of the net, was going out, but Shipman couldn't chance it. Manning serving again. Bankert able to get there. Sanchez with a bump over to Alleman. Free ball sent into the backcourt to Holston. Manning setting up. Boudreau, did it get fingertips? Nope, it went out without those fingertips. And the serve will go back over to the Coyotes, specifically Kinsley Martin. 10 aces for Martin, who has been in every set this year for the Coyotes. One of 4 Coyotes who have played in every set. Taylor right in front of Sanchez. Well, and wouldn't you know it? I mean, there's going to be so many similarities where these two teams are concerned. Coyotes have had 4 play in every set. Guess how many the Wildcats have had play in every set this year? If you were to say 4, that would be a very good guess. Over to King. King shoving it over. That'll be driven off Manning by Sanchez. And the Coyotes serving again. Now Daniel Head's here too, the AD at Coastal. So we got a lot of the big dogs here watching the Coyotes. As Sanchez will serve. And apparently a little perspiration on the floor had to be addressed before resuming play. I can attest to the fact that a little moisture on a gymnasium floor will force you to bend directions you're not supposed to bend. Tip over, Brown, Wilson, and that will go off Manning. Coyotes draw to within 2. Sanchez again on the serve. And there was an illegal formation on the part of the Coyotes earlier, and apparently it's happened again. Holston serving, a 3-point Bishop State lead. Setting up Holloman. Drives it over, Holston able to get there. Mid part of the floor. And that is Allen. Building a 4-point lead. And Holston again serving. Well, a 2-0 lead in sets. Sanchez got to it, but Brown was going to have to play a game of leapfrog to get to her pass and just couldn't. But a 2-zip lead is a little commanding. Sanchez, Brown, Wilson tips it over. Manning able to get there. Holston setting up Stapleton. Tipped over in the dig from Sanchez. Over to Wingard. That will ricochet off of Taylor. So in the South currently, Enterprise State 1, LBW 2, Coastal North 3, Coastal South 4, Bishop State 5. Ace from Alleman. Wallace Selma 6. Reed State would have been the 7th team. And there are 7 teams in the North as well. And Reed State, just prior to the start of the year, canceling their volleyball season. So now you got 6 teams vying for 4 spots. Alleman delivering with the ace. And at the moment, as I mentioned, these are the 2 teams vying for the 4 spots. Still got a long way to go. Got a month of the season. Got everybody in the conference at least one more time. And there are some teams in the conference that haven't played everybody, period. Haven't played them yet, once, much less twice. Stapleton delivered. Serve back over to Bishop State. Stapleton to serve. Four aces for the 091 hitter. Back to Binker. Off of Allen. Manning able to get there. Stapleton. Well, it almost reminded me of a pitcher trying to force the location and just misfiring as a result. Binker will serve. 2-point game. 18 serving 20. And she's into the net with the serve. Checking into the lineup for Bishop State is Alyssa Wade. 9 aces for Wade. I mentioned the number 1 team in the conference in digs. 601 on the year. We are precisely in set 2 where we were in set 1 at this juncture. 22-18. This was where Coastal South went on a 4-point tear. Knotted it up at 22. Eventually, it was won by Bishop State. 25-23. Taylor. Alleman able to get a hand on it. Sanchez setting up Sanders. Tips it over. Taylor with fingertips. Back over to Manning, drives it, Sanchez. Nice reaction by Sanders, but Alleman couldn't get there. And the lead will go to 5. Alyssa Wade serving. In sets, Bishop State has won 13, lost 24. And as Kai Hales checking in, banging it off Allen. And in sets, Coyotes are 20-17. But in the big picture, well, I guess the big picture sets are relevant, but it's not the relevant stat. That'll go into the net from Anaya Barkley. And we are at set point for the Wildcats. Isabella White checking in. 1 ace on the year for White. 9 matches, 23 sets of work for White. Fisted over by Sanders. And then it is driven over by Boudreaux. And back-to-back set wins for the Wildcats, taking a commanding 2-0 lead as we head to set number 3, a must-win set for the Coyotes.
frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
We head into the third set. This is a must-win set for Coastal South to stay in the match. Trying to improve that conference record to 2-2 and the overall mark to 7-4. Back-to-back Wildcat wins in the first couple of sets. Hey, don't forget, follow us, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, too. We would just be plumb tickled. Friday, Helene Willing will be back here for the Coyotes in Bevel State. Next day, Bevel State and the Coyotes north in Bruton. And when the Bears leave, the Wildcats come in. Pearl River and Coastal North Volleyball at 3. And Georgia Military trying to pick up their 5th win in 6 games. Their only loss was to the top-ranked Iowa Western, who was top-ranked at the time. Now 2-ranked Georgia Military taking on Monroe University. 1 o'clock in the New York City Metro, and we'll be there for the coverage. That's 1 Eastern, 12 o'clock local. And baseball coming up on Saturday and Sunday. It'll happen in Wicksburg. It's part of the ABC Fall League. And all of that, again, dependent upon Mother Nature. And specifically, Helene. You look at some models and even most models got it coming up into the Apalachicola area. But it did, at least in the last advisory bump, ever so slightly westward. Doesn't take a lot of bumps to create issues for us. So keep alert. And on Thursday and Friday, stay safe. And we, of course, will keep you posted. Hardigan delivering. Nice save by Holston. Over to Alleman. And somebody got into the net. And that somebody's wearing a dark jersey. So the Coyotes will pick up a point, and Hardigan serving again. Hardigan into the net. Well, again, we can't call anything from who takes the lead first. Bishop State did in the first set, won it. Coyotes did in the second set, lost it. Back-to-back service errors. Hardigan followed by Taylor. And now Kinsley Martin will come in to serve. 3 serving 1. And Stapleton. Tamaya Burrows, by the way, in the ball game for Bishop State. First we have seen of Burrows, who has played in 30 sets this year, but had not played in a set today until now. Halston serving it over. Alleman shoving it across. There was a whistle, and let's see. Net violation. Coyote point. 4-2 game. And again, Sophie Sanchez, 5 aces on the year serving. Burrows first pass, Stapleton, shot blocked. Alleman blocking it. Halston trying to save it. Sanchez again on the serve. She's one of those Coyotes who have been in every set. You know, like the starting quarterback. Over to Binkert. Mid part of the floor. Allen again just kind of misfired on the shot and gave an opportunity for Wilson. Sanchez, a 4-point Coyote lead. Burrows there first. Manning setting up the mid part of the floor. Shoved over by Allen. And unreturnable by Martin. And it becomes a 3-point ball game. 3 serving 6. Stapleton on the serve. Hartigan with a set of Wilson. It is blocked once by Manning. But Wilson able to send it back over, and Stapleton can't dig it out. Sarah Alleman serving. Alleman, a team leader in a lot of categories. She's tops in assists, tops in hitting, tops in aces. Setting up Allen, and Allen will drive it right into the corner. Serve going back over to the Wildcats. Burrows out, Taylor in. Also Alyssa Wade checking in. And going out of the game is Janiyah King. And Wade will serve. Into the backcourt to Binkert. Ottoman setting up Binkert, shoves it over, Stapleton there. And again, Allen struggling a little bit in the mid part of the floor. Had the perfect Manning set, but couldn't drive it over. And Binkert serving again. 11 aces on the year from Binkert. Back it goes to Taylor, drives it. Alleman got there, but couldn't get a pass on. And the serve back over to the Wildcats. Isabella White checking in to serve. Five serving 8. Set number 3. And again, an opportunity for Bishop State to go 3-2 in 3-set matches. Of course, the Coyotes now want a 5-set match. Rachel Wilson serving. Rachel Wilson, a sophomore outside hitter, back from a year ago. Led in a ton of statistical categories then. 098 hitter. Is number 2 on the team in kills. Also number 2 on the team in total attacks. Over to Taylor. Taylor, Alleman, Wilson got it, but knocked it into the stands. Manning will serve. Bishop State trying to put together their first 2-game win streak of the year. And the Coyotes trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Alleman with the back set. Hills popping it, but it is sent right back by Boudreaux. Over to Taylor. Taylor drives and able to drive it through the Sanders Shipman block. Manning serving. A 2-point ball game. Over the top of the net, Sanchez there. Alleman with a set to Shipman, drives it over. Manning to Holston, back over it goes to Stapleton. And that is blocked by Hales. Hardigan back in to serve. Peyton Hardigan has been in 6 matches, 13 sets this year. Taylor going long. Hardigan, a sophomore. Serving again. Holston with a dig and nobody there to get the pass. Coyotes take a 5-point lead. Bishop State takes a timeout.
Preparing for surgery is like getting ready for the big game. You arrive early. You get your mind right. You make sure every tool is ready and the team has the right equipment. Your patient may never know your name. They may never realize that somebody cared enough to ensure all the little tasks were done right. But that's okay. You do. Be somebody. Enroll in the Surgical Technology program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Wildcats would prefer not to play another set. Coyotes want to play 2 more. So Coach Keyshot calling timeout. Chatting with Wildcats. Stapleton going long. And Hardigan will continue to serve. Hardigan and Dothan, Alabama product. Alleman shoving it over. Holston able to get there. Boudreaux off of Alleman's fingertips. Eight serving 12 with Taylor serving. Looking at the Bishop State roster, Alabama and Florida. Looking at the Coastal South roster, Alabama and Louisiana. Served up by Taylor. Setting in the mid part of the floor. Alleman shot blocked by Boudreaux and Stapleton. Over to Sanders and reaching for the corner is Taylor and can't get there. And the Coyotes lead is 5 with Martin in to serve. I know I've mentioned this before, but with South being so close to Florida, A little surprising they don't have any Floridians. Stapleton, Hardigan able to get to it in the backcourt over to Binker. Burrows there, driven over by Boudreaux, and then you had 3 hits and a kick. And it'll be a Wildcat serve. Holston doing the honors. Martin to Hardigan, over and goes to Oliver. Holston able to get there. Burrows tipping it to King, who tips it over. Hardigan setting up Shipman. Manning able to get to it. Over to Stapleton. Tipping it over that front line, but Binkert able to get to it. And that will go wide from Oliver. And turn it into a 3-point game. Holston will serve. Holston delivering with an ace. And it's a 2-point game. Holston again serving. Binkert going long. And Holston trying to serve up the tying point. Coyotes trying to expand the lead to 2. Oliman bangs it over. Holston there. Manning with the back set. Stapleton off of Martin, and Martin immediately reaching for the wrist once it banged off that wrist. Now she's staying in the game, but sure seems to be favoring that wrist. Hardigan, pass going the wrong way. Well, I'm still watching Martin to see that. Well, now she's put some weight on that right wrist. Does look like she's trying to flex it a little bit. Now trying to offer some sophomore leadership, going, okay, ladies, we got to calm down and get back on track. Dr. Richie Delaney asking for time. We'll take a break, 2 in a 2-point game.
Max hates going to the vet. It smells funny. It makes him feel anxious and worse, overweight. But today he doesn't feel well. So he and his person are glad that someone is there to make him better. Somebody who also understands what a good boy he is. Be somebody. Enroll in the Veterinary Technology Program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Wildcats 7 unanswered points, turning a 14-9 Coyote lead into a 16-14 Bishop State advantage. Burrows, nice dive, and Allen will drive it through the Shipman block. That's 8 straight from Bishop State. And Holston serving. Into the backcourt to Martin. Hardigan shoving it over to Alleman. Alleman will drop it in front of the sideline. And that will snap that run of 8 straight for the Wildcats. And send the serve back over to the other side of the floor. Sanchez to serve. Aims for Burrows in the corner. Manning over to King, and King finds the corner. Sanchez thought it was going out. And Bishop State now 7 away from wrapping up the match. Coyotes 10 away from sending us to a set 4. Over to Wilson. Wilson will drive it in front of Burrows. Coyotes would love to go on one of those 8-0 runs. Alleman serving, Hardigan coming out. Hales coming back in. Alleman with the serve, Holston there first. Two-handed Manning shove over. Sanchez knew it was coming, able to save it. Allen aiming for the in line and goes long. And it's a 1-point game. Alleman again on the serve. Manning setting up King, and King will get all kinds of Coyote fingertips on the way out. Back to a 2-point Bishop State lead. Bishop State, over the last couple of years, hosted the postseason tournament. That this year will be in Albertville, the other end of the state. And a big part of the reason they're not hosting is apparently the Civic Center undergoing renovations, not available. So if you don't have a facility, it's tough to host. And apparently Sand Mountain has got a brand new facility. Launched over by Wade. Wilson going long. And Alyssa Wade to serve. Aims for the corner and drops it in. And the Wildcats needing 3, the Coyotes needing 8. A little better than a 2-for-1 if you were the Coyotes. Served up by Wade. Alleman over to Wilson. Holston able to get there. Manning with a set to Allen, and that was off the ankle of Martin, which is playable. And that's why Martin looked to see if somebody could play it, but they weren't able. Doesn't have to hit the hands. I've seen it kicked. I've seen it hit faces. She's got to get part of the body. Hales to Alleman, back set to Pinker. And she'll go long. Wildcats a point away from a sweep. And from going 3-2 in 3-set matches. That's just a little bit long. Bankert serving. Coyotes trying to pull off the improbable. It's not the impossible, though. Well, it goes to Taylor. Dinks it over. Alleman can't get there. And the set and match are over. So this one will go final. And Bishop State gets the sweep. Their second conference win of the year. Improving their mark to 2-3 in the conference, 3-8 overall. Second straight win. Coyotes now 1-3 in the conference. They are 6-5 overall, and will lose their third in a row and have lost their spot in the South to Bishop State at the moment. But still a long way to go. Hey, don't forget, we're back here on Friday. Got Bevel State coming to town, a 5 o'clock start for the Bears and the Coyotes. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And if you want to watch this game later, watch it on demand. Subscribe to our premium channel. Thanks to Daniel Head and all the folks at all the Coastals for the opportunity to bring you Coyote in this particular case, volleyball. It is a Bishop State win for all the folks with Coastal Alabama and JockJive. I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.